Website, Foreclosure Radar.
Yeah.
So you go to Foreclosure Radar. On the right side of Foreclosure Radar, there is a free stats stuff. Foreclosure filings in Snohomish County. Okay, averaging about the same. So this is on a per month basis. April 2010, there were 649. April of 2011, 561. Actually, slightly less than the total number of filings. But this is the more, yes, yes. This is actually the more telling statistic though, foreclosure outcomes. So there are 65.39% more bank-owned properties right now than there were a year ago. Okay, what's also interesting, and this goes back to those increasing foreclosure timelines, is 23.88% of the foreclosures that have been filed are getting canceled. Or excuse me, there's been an increase of almost 24% in cancellations. Well, you're doing a loan mod. Not a problem, we'll cancel it. You're doing a short sale. Don't worry about it. Okay, but that just keeps lengthening that time frame. Toby, did you have a question?
Is that the second one with the back to bank, that 65% increase? You know, are those ones that are going to be coming back on the market like in 18 months?
Don't know. These are REO, but it does not mean they are on the market. Okay, just because something's been foreclosed on doesn't mean it's going on the market. We went to a B of A meeting a couple weeks ago, and B of A specifically said that we do not hide our properties and they do not sit on the market, blah, blah. They said the only reason our properties don't hit market is because of title issues most of the time. But we see that. I had a property with City Mortgage that somehow City Mortgage foreclosed it in some entity that never even existed. So they had to refile all the foreclosure documents. We did another one with Aurora, and they foreclosed on the front half but not the back. It just happens. So that's what happens most of the time. It's a title issue is what these banks are saying is why these things are sitting there. However, I think there are underlying things like, well, that portfolio is underperforming right now, so we don't want that portfolio to get a bunch of stuff on the market, or we're in the process of selling that whole thing. For instance, for an asset management outsourcing company, we just did 4 BPOs for them because they're buying a pool from Fannie Mae. So Fannie Mae, and they're already all in the market as REOs. And literally, they're going to go buy all these existing REOs from another company at a discount, and then turn around and sell them as an REO themselves. So it doesn't necessarily mean on the market, but if you look at the numbers, it was 339, 209, 187, 340. So let's just stick somewhere in the middle, call it like 250, 260. So on a monthly basis, you're probably talking 250 properties revert. But if you look to see how many are coming on the market, what did we sell last month? It's right here. We sold 592 homes.
And we know that less than 30% of those statistically are REO.
Okay, so that means there's another 15–20% of REOs that are just chilling. They're hanging out there in La La Land somewhere, in the AKA shadow inventory. And that's one of the things that was referenced in the Foreclosure Radar report, where they estimated based on first quarter sales, there's 3-year supply. And then just the last one. This is right here shows the actual foreclosure inventories. So you can see the number of properties scheduled for sale. Boom, we've been in the low to upper 2000s. So right now there's around, month of April, there's 2,243 that are scheduled to be foreclosed on. But they may be canceled, they may get a loan mod. They may find some money, they may get their job back. So I mean, there's a lot of things that could happen that would stop that. And then also, of course, here's the total number of REO inventory at 2,390. But remember, we only sold 592 last month, and about 30% of that was REO. So even if...
And there's only 3,700 available of all properties available in Snohomish County.
Okay, so in REO inventory specifically in Snohomish County that hasn't even sold, if we just sold REO inventory all month long, you've got 4.5 months of just REO inventory just chilling there. Does that make sense?
Is that an answer?
Any questions?
Yes. I'd like to pop back to Snohomish County area statistical report.
rock and roll.
Can you take a quick journey down Snohomish area, Bothell area, Lake
Yeah,
Stevens area?
yeah.
Look at,
You just want to talk about the actual numbers?
area 750, they think it's pretty good.
Okay, the city of Snohomish, your sales were down 21.6% when you compare to April. Your average price down 19%. And the median price, once again comparing April to April, down 27.4. What's really interesting, the median price in Snohomish being 199, that's really low.
Well, no, not necessarily, no, look at area 770, it's 195. So you gotta remember that even when you're looking at the top number, that 232, you've got 610 in there, which is really holding it up, and that's the Bothell Woodinville corridor.
Okay, going down to Bothell, sales in Bothell down approximately 35%, average price down 4.5, median price down 4.2 when you compare April versus April. The year to date for both has actually shown a much more drastic decline at 7.2% and 8.7. However, Bothell is outpacing the market. And what I mean by that, Bothell is depreciating not as fast as overall Snohomish County, or you could say depreciating less.
So why is that?
Closer to the hub.
Closer to the
Closer to
center
the
of the
hub.
onion.
Yep.
Yeah, so if you take Seattle or King County as a whole, you'll see the same thing.
Okay.
It's interesting that you don't see that in Linwood though. I'm just going to skip Lake Stevens. Lake Stevens, similar numbers. When you go to Linwood's average price, April of 2011 to April 10, down 12.6%. The median price down 9.3%. Linwood is not doing as well as Bothell, even though it's closer to the onion.
No, further away, different.
Different buyer.
Yeah.
Different buyer, and I think it's because Linwood has a lot more older homes and communities that are going through that cycle.
Well, but you have two, right, about there, you have two centers of your onion.
Yep, you got Bellevue.
You've got Bellevue and you have Seattle.
East side, right?
Yeah, and the east side as a whole is probably as big as Seattle.
Yeah.
And one thing I've been watching, since, the decline of the market is the lot sales in
Yeah.
Buffalo itself. They consistently sell more bank-owned lots back to like D.R. Horton is one of them for a nice price and everything. And I'm wondering if, that has an impact of keeping new construction going in there and keeping the price stable.
Yep, every builder I know, that's the first place they were buying lots, and they were paying more for them because they were getting more for the houses, and they were selling faster than Linwood. If you just want to compare. Linwood, I mean, you can get cheaper lots,
Both.
but you could sell the houses for the same price, even close to Bothell.
Okay, moving on. Both Everett and Marysville depreciated more than the county. So once again, if you're having a conversation with a seller that's in Everett or Marysville, it's going down faster. Marysville's median price, of course, being $195,500 last month. That's low. Months of inventory on the back, overall Snohomish County, 6.3 months.
Awesome. Good class. Thank you, Anton.
Thanks.
Thanks, Ed.